You are making more money right now than you have at any point in your entire life. You look at your salary on paper and it is a number that would have made your parents feel wealthy. Yet you are lying awake at 2 in the morning doing mental math trying to figure out why your bank account feels like a leaking bucket. You feel a deep, quiet shame thinking that you are simply bad with money. I need you to take a deep breath and let go of that guilt right now. It is not a personal failure. You are operating exactly as the system engineered you to operate. You have been fundamentally deceived about what builds wealth and what destroys it. I am the debt algorithm, and I track the behavioral data of millions of people trapped in this exact same cycle. Today, we are going to decode the middle-class asset illusion, a psychological and mathematical trap designed to keep high earners completely dependent on their next paycheck. Let us examine the architecture of this trap. Society has successfully redefined the word asset to mean anything you can finance with a loan. An entire generation has been programmed to believe that a massive primary residence and 2 financed vehicles are the ultimate markers of financial success. But true wealth is not measured by the things you owe money on. In behavioral economics, we observe how people systematically confuse liabilities with assets. A true asset puts money into your pocket while you sleep. It generates passive cash flow. A liability takes money out of your pocket continuously. When you stretch your budget to buy a home that is 3 times larger than you need, you are not buying an asset. You are purchasing a hungry machine that demands constant feeding in the form of property taxes, maintenance, insurance, and interest. Your brain is flooded with dopamine when you sign the mortgage papers because society celebrates this transaction. But the neurochemistry of that moment blinds you to the opportunity cost. Every dollar trapped in the walls of that house is a dollar that cannot compound in a true investment portfolio. The debt algorithm sees this pattern endlessly. A family earns a 6-figure income but locks 70% of their take-home pay into debt obligations disguised as wealth-building tools. They are experiencing what we call the illusion of ownership. They do not own their lifestyle, the bank does. This illusion is so powerful because it operates on social proof. When everyone around you is financing luxury vehicles and taking out maximum leverage mortgages, your primate brain categorizes this behavior as safe. Our evolutionary wiring equates conformity with survival. Stepping outside of this cycle and driving a 10-year-old car while renting an affordable apartment feels dangerous to your nervous system because it risks social rejection. The financial industry understands this biological vulnerability perfectly. They weaponize your desire for status to sell you long-term debt contracts. The moment your salary increases, they send you pre-approved offers to expand your cage.
Let us examine the mechanics of false equity. You are told that buying a bigger home forces you to save money because part of your mortgage payment goes toward principal. This is a masterclass in financial misdirection. While you are busy celebrating the slow accumulation of equity, the bank and the local government are quietly extracting pure cash through property taxes, homeowners insurance, maintenance, and interest. If you calculate the true cost of ownership over 30 years, the return on investment for a massive primary residence often barely outpaces inflation. Yet your primate brain views the physical structure as undeniable proof of your success. It is a highly visible monument to your hard work, but visible wealth is almost always highly leveraged wealth. The person driving the $90,000 luxury vehicle next to you in traffic is not displaying wealth. They are displaying a massive reduction in their future net worth. Auto loans are the ultimate wealth destroyers because they combine rapid depreciation with compound interest working violently against you. When you agree to a $1,000 monthly car payment, you are not just losing $1,000. You are mathematically assassinating the millions of dollars that capital could have generated if invested in productive assets. But society normalizes this financial self-sabotage. Coworkers congratulate you on the new car smell, while the debt algorithm quietly recalculates your prolonged sentence in the workforce. We must understand the neuroscience of the upgrade cycle. Every time you receive a promotion or a raise, your brain seeks a dopamine reward to validate the increased effort. The easiest way to acquire this dopamine is through a lifestyle upgrade, a nicer apartment, a better zip code, a premium trim package on a vehicle. This phenomenon is known as the Diderot effect, where obtaining a new possession creates a spiral of consumption to match the perceived elevated status of that single item. If you buy the premium house, you must buy the premium furniture to fill it. Your fixed baseline costs expand instantly, absorbing the entirety of your new income. You are earning more, but your gap, the critical space between what you make and what you spend, remains exactly zero. This is why someone making $150,000 can feel exactly as desperate as they did when making $60,000. Their cash flow is entirely committed to servicing the infrastructure of their illusion. The system relies on your absolute compliance with this upgrade cycle. The moment you decouple your ego from your possessions, you become an anomaly. You become dangerous to an economy that requires your constant consumption. Let us perform a forensic accounting of your actual wealth. Look at your net worth statement, but strip away your primary residence and your vehicles. What remains? For the vast majority of the middle class, the answer is virtually nothing. This is the stark reality of the asset illusion. Millions of people are walking around feeling financially secure because an app tells them their house went up in value. But you cannot pay for groceries with drywall. You cannot fund your retirement with the leather seats in your financed truck. You are suffering from a terminal lack of liquidity. You have built a museum of depreciating artifacts and illiquid structures while starving the only accounts that can actually buy back your freedom. True assets are invisible. They are index funds, dividend-paying stocks, boring business equity, and cash-flowing properties. They do not require you to wash them, insure them against daily accidents, or impress your neighbors with them. They sit quietly in the digital ether, executing the sole purpose of their existence, which is to manufacture more money while you sleep.
Let us deconstruct the math of the playbook you were handed. You were told to go to school, get a secure job, buy a house, and save 10%. This was highly effective advice for a completely different economy. In the 1990s, the average home cost roughly 3 times the median household income. Today, that multiplier has doubled or even tripled depending on your zip code. Yet society expects you to navigate this new hostile environment using the exact same financial map. The debt algorithm tracks the inevitable outcome of this geographical error. When you spend 50% of your take-home pay on a primary residence and another 20% on vehicle transportation, you have mathematically eliminated your ability to build wealth. You are left with what we call phantom margin, money that exists on a spreadsheet but is instantly consumed by the hidden friction costs of your lifestyle. The banking system does not view you as a success story when you sign that massive mortgage. They view you as a perfectly optimized annuity. You have agreed to wake up every morning, sit in traffic, and trade the best hours of your cognitive peak to ensure their shareholders receive a quarterly dividend. They do not want you to pay off the debt. They want you to comfortably service it until you die. The behavioral trap that keeps you from escaping is known as the endowment effect. Once we own something, we irrationally overvalue it. The idea of selling the oversized house and downsizing to an affordable apartment feels like a devastating loss to your primate brain. You interpret downsizing as a failure rather than what it actually is, which is a strategic, tactical retreat to regain your freedom. The algorithm proves that the people who eventually win this game are the ones willing to look like they are losing for a decade. They are the ones who trade the illusion of wealth for the reality of margin. We must completely rewire your financial operating system. You must stop measuring your success by the square footage of your physical footprint and start measuring it by the expansion of your gap. The gap is the holy grail of modern wealth. It is the sacred space between your ego-driven expenses and your actual income. To widen this gap, you must ruthlessly audit your life. Look at your financed vehicles and realize they are stealing your future. Look at your housing costs and ask if the extra bedroom is worth a decade of forced labor. True financial sovereignty begins the moment you stop buying liabilities disguised as assets. It begins when you realize that the ultimate luxury is not a premium badge on a steering wheel, but a Tuesday morning where you own 100% of your own time. Break the illusion, stop feeding the algorithm, and buy back your life.